Alright guys, coming back at you. This is the 4L60 case. If you'll notice down there, I drew an arrow on the side of the case. The arrow is pointing to the notch down there. The notch is where the reverse piston is going to go. This is the reverse piston. You have a ring that goes here, a sealing ring in the middle. You have a sealing ring on this outer edge, and you have a sealing ring right here on this upper edge. When you put those on, do everything slow and careful. Don't want to tear nothing up. After you do that, go ahead and grease it up with some assembly lube, really good, heavy. Grease that up really good and heavy. And I take and mark that notch right there at the left. Take this notch right here and put your magic marker mark on it. Once you get that magic marker notch, follow your arrow down to that notch. It'll drop right in. Then you give it a bump with your shaft real lightly. It'll go in. Alright, after you did that, and you hear it pop in, settle, you want to take and put your spring on next. Put your spring on it and put your retaining clip on your spring. You have to compress that down to get it to go. This one, I got it loaded up, and the spring assembly, see if I got one. Don't see it right off the top of my head, but I know it's here. Yeah, right here. This is what it's going to look like. Put that spring in, then press that down and clamp that there. Bam. You're done with that. Alright, once you get done with that, you can drop in your lower this carrier. Okay, once you get the carrier in, you can put your pinions in, your lower pinions. They'll go on like that. Bottom of the case, boom. Once you get that, you want to put your steels on. Your steels, if you look at that, you can see how wavy it is. See the wave in it? Steel is wavy. Alright. You have these notches right there. Okay, take those notches, keep them to the left, and keep them at 12 o'clock, center to your valve body, which you're going to have facing you. So you drop that in, bam, bam, bam. Do your wavy first, then your backing plate. And then after you do the wavy and backing plate, add one friction, and then continue doing steels. Steel friction, steel friction, steel friction, steel friction. And you're going to end with the friction. So you'll have wavy, steel, and then you'll have 4 regular steels. And you'll have, let's see, 5 frictions normally. But once you get that built up, the trick of the trade is getting this puppy in here. This has your sprag in it. You want to make sure your sprag's turning the right way. Alright. It has a big indexed right here. That's a big index. It's wider between tooth. Alright. When you put that index in your case, you want to make sure you stick it in right here. It's going to straddle. It's going to straddle this one. See, I'm right here on the flat side of the case. It's going to straddle that post, and it's going to straddle that post right there. It's going to straddle that post in this wide area. Okay, wide index, wide area. Before you put that in, you have to put right here at the bottom, about 5 o'clock, you have to put your anti-clunk spring. When you put the anti-clunk spring, it looks just like a boot. When you set it in, you're setting it in just like this, like a boot. And you can see down here, how you got that rounded area. There's a rounded shoulder, just like the heel of the boot. And then it goes down with the foot. Just like that, has the rounded shoulder right here. And it goes down with the foot. So, you want to lay that in there, just like so. And you want to keep this end, 2 top ends up against the case best you can. So your anti-clunk spring will go there. I know a lot of people, they're doing it really fast on their videos, and you can't see where these things go. So I'm going to light it up and show you where right there is your anti-clunk. And like I said, this wide area overlap this post. This big space in between, I'll go ahead and put that on right now. When you put this in, pull your center up so it's not all the way to the bottom poking down, but pull the center piece up, index it with the big groove, and easily put it over the 2 areas I talked about, just like that. Anti-clunk's where my thumb is. The big index is here where my thumb is. Once you get it to that, you should be good to go as far as letting her loose. And a lot of people's not showing this, so that's why I wanted to make a video to show it. You can give this a little push. You don't want to go. I've had a lot of success using a rubber hammer. Okay, just give it a couple taps. There you go. You hear that click? She's down. Tone changed and everything. She's down. Then you want to take your centerpiece, kind of twist it to the right. Put your thumb inside. Get up against one of them ears. Twist it to the right. And push it down. Once you got that, I like to take a napkin and dry off where the ring is going. Okay. Get that ring dried up. And don't forget this, whatever you do. This has got to go in there. This goes on next. Your 4-tab black washer. You have to straddle this in here. And you lock your tabs in these little holes. You have to have this in there. You absolutely have to have that in there. When you get it locked in the holes, you're good. Okay. And once you get that in there, you put your snap ring right there. When you put the snap ring in there, let me show you how to do that, because this is super, super, super important. Okay. There's an upside on the snap ring. If you look at the teeth, if you look at the point, you guys can see the points. Okay, the point kind of points up at the end. But anyway, put your snap ring. This is your anti-clunk. Do not cover the anti-clunk spring. If you go like that and cover that anti-clunk spring, that thing, when it kicks, it'll knock this thing out. And when that spring comes out, you will tear up that case. these lugs are all broken from that anti-clunk spring kicking out that snap ring, and the snap ring not holding. It'll tear off your little lugs at the top that holds the snap ring. You do that, your case is basically screwed and you're going to have a bad day. So absolutely make sure you got that ring in there and make sure you start it. I'm going to go this one more time because it's very, very important. Do not cover your anti-clunk spring with your snap ring. Put it 50% in between this one, not over it, just 50% this way, and then the other end will straddle this, but it won't be touching this because this little notch right here holds that from going back. So it'll hang right here, one end of it, and the other end will be 50-50 on this post, not touching your anti-clunk at all. You do not want that snap ring to touch the anti-clunk. So I'll load a picture of how that's going to look at the beginning of the video or the thumbnail, so if you want to know that, you'll have that information. But the main thing is these two is your index. Your anti-clunk spring goes there. Do not cover it with the snap ring, and make sure you have this 4-tab black washer in place before you drop anything in there. When you drop it in there, you can drop this down in there, the sun gear, the helix down. Okay, there, it's dropped down. Let me pause this. Okay, I got it in place now. I can show you. You see how that is not in? Let me see. Right here is the edge of the snap ring. It's 50% on this lug. There's your anti-clunk. There's your anti-clunk. There's your snap ring. This guard catches that snap ring or anti-clunk and doesn't let it get back here. So this is about where you want it. You don't want it over this anti-clunk, and you don't want it touching this anti-clunk. You want your opening underneath the lugs. That way the whole snap ring is in place and holding. And don't forget to put this black thrust washer, whatever you call it, 4-tab thing facing down. Boom, put that in there. And once you do that, you are ready to drop in your shell. Okay, always use a new shell, harden it up, whatever you got to do. Alright, that drops in, and make sure you have a lot of anti-glue on your, not anti-seize, but whatever it's called, the assembly glue. Yeah, you want to use some of that, and then you're ready for your forward pinion. This is a 4-pinion. Everything's been checked, it's good. Make sure you have plenty of that junk there on it to start up. Some people get the washer kit for this. I could put a washer kit on that. I got one right there. I might actually do it, but I'm not. I'm going to go by the book. This is all you need according to the manuals. Let that slide down in there, and it's in place. When it makes that good noise, you're halfway home. Anyway, that's how you do your rears and your hard parts up to your cage. Now all you got to do is put your shaft through it. Okay, when you put your shaft in, the tip's going to come up, and this is for your speedometer. The bigger part's going to be to the bottom. I have a hole in my bench so I could go underneath it. I got a little bottle jack to hold the bottom of the shaft as I push it up. And the groove, if you come down from the top, the groove is right there for your snap ring, your retainer. Just make sure it goes right in there, absolutely, and you're good to go. But that's basically it. And make sure you use the right snap ring, retaining rings, and the point should be upwards, because the point, when you look at this, the points are outwards and upwards. Don't cut these or modify them trying to make it easier. If you can't get it, use 2 screwdrivers. It's easier with 2 screwdrivers for a lot of people. But these, I've had a lot of success with these pliers. These pliers I got on Amazon. They're outward clench when you push that. So anyway, these work very good. These are very good snap ring pliers. I think they're about 15 bucks on Amazon. Good for a lifetime if you're going to be doing this stuff occasionally. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and don't forget those important things that I just told you about. Y'all have a good day. Peace.